Hello there. In this topic, we're going to build an application on the SAP Business Objects Design Studio. We'll go through the entire process of setting up Design Studio, creating data sources, and also creating an application. So this is what we are going to build. So you see, this is a sales projection. Actually, let me refresh. So this is a sales projection report, and then we have countrywide sales. These are the different countries. This is the graphical representation of this data here. And if I choose a country, for example, Germany, it takes me to the tab 2. It shows me all the region-wise sales of Germany. And if I want to drill down on a specific region, then I can simply select it and then it breaks down different customers for me in that region. Not a very elaborate report, but quite useful at this stage. Okay, let's go ahead and see how to build this. So Design Studio is available at a desktop level right about here, and you can also access from the BI Intelligence folder. So right about here you have Business Objects Design Studio. Let's go ahead and create a new report. I'm going to name it sample. And if you come to the target device, here is where it gets interesting with Design Studio is you can target a desktop browser, an iPad, and an iPhone. So the templates are designed for the specific devices, So therefore you don't have to do any CSS magic for it to be compatible. In this example, we will go with the desktop browser. These are the different templates which you have. So you have a KPI dashboard, you have KPI templates, and then ad hoc analysis. So these are different templates ready to go, and most of them are very useful. For the sake of training, we will go with the blank and we'll say finish. All right, so this is the empty area, and these are the different components we have. So we have analytic components, we have basic components, we have container components. And at the bottom, we have the report structure. So once we start building the objects, you will start seeing them laid out here. This is the properties pane, and we will use this much in this exercise. All right. The first thing we need to do is to connect to a data source. So let's go and do that. The way to do it is you click on this add data source icon, and this is already connected to HANA. And how do we know that? Is by going to tools and then going to preferences. And if you go to backend connections, you will be able to see in the SAP HANA connections where you are connected. All right, let's go ahead and connect to a cube. So let's browse, and this time we are going to choose the ACOPA package. So right about here, let's go down a little bit more. I think I missed it. Okay, so this is the one which we need, and I'm going to take the Zico power plan. Let's say okay, and let's say okay. So now you have one data source. Wonderful. So let's go ahead and start building the report. The first thing which we want to do is bring out a panel to build that top layer which we saw in the report. So you just drag and drop a panel and you drop it here, and then you can drag and position the panel as you like. Let's say we want to position on the top and let it go. Wonderful, looks good. Now let's go ahead and bring out an input field. So you bring a text and you drop it here. And I think I didn't drag it. So let's drop it here, and this is going to be the name of the report. To give a value, you have to come to the properties pane, and if you see here, there's something called text, and then you simply write here called sales projection. All right. Now when you let it go, you see that you can see the text. All right, wonderful. Now if you want to change the text size and text color, you will have to use a CSS. So we will do that. And in the next version, this is Studio 1.3. In the next versions, you have something called an additional properties where you can also change the color and things like that. All right, so let's for this go ahead and change the style. So I'm going to click on the CSS style here and say color. Let's say we want red, and let's say font size, we need 30 pixels. This is standard CSS. You can get the syntax from anywhere out there in the internet. You have something called the CSS generator, so you can design what you want and the application will throw out this code for you. Okay, looks good. Now we need those table strips. So this is the container component, and you can bring out those, and let's align it real nicely. All right, looks good. Now we need the first cross tab. So to bring a cross tab, we need to go to the analytic components. You click on the cross tag and you drag and you drop it. All right, looks good. So we'll make it small since we don't need so much space. We're only going to take 2 or 3 columns here. Okay, now if you see, we have brought the cross tab, but it says assign a data source because we don't have any data source here. So the one way to assign a data source is to go here, data binding, and then to click on a data source, and you to choose a data source. Now just before we do that, let's see what we want to do with this cross tab. So if you go to example 1 and tab 1, in the tab 1 what we have is this particular cross tab, and this only has country key and net revenue. All right, so what you need to do is you need to bring only those 2 columns. Because this cube has a lot of columns, we will edit the query much like how we do in web intelligence. So for that, you right click and go to edit initial view, and then you simply choose the measures which are already available for you here. You can select and delete what you don't want to see, and you can also do things like sort, and then you need the country. So let's go ahead and bring the country code. Country code is land 1. Okay, country key, that's it. So this is all we need. We say okay, and now we're going to go and assign the data source to this particular cross tab. There you go. Now you see the formatting is not very nice. These columns can be a little bit larger. So you can come here to column resizing enabled and make sure it's true, and go to column widths here, and then we can insert an index. Basically this is column number 1. This is width is 100. We'll make it 200, and then we'll insert another one and we'll make the second column also 200. So now you see that we have a nice table out here. Just drag a little bit down. All right, now we need a chart. So let's drag a chart out and drop it here. So just this chart is also going to talk about the same in a graphical way. So we can also assign this chart the data source DS1.